Chrissy? Chrissy, the grapevine reckons that Mr. Faulkner's been suspended.
Yeah?
Well, why would the governor do that, do you reckon?
How would I know?
Oh, come on, I know you know something about it, and I want to know what it is. I warned you if you got him into strife...
I didn't get him into strife. He got himself into it, and Powell was right onto it.
What for?
He raped me last night.
Rape you? That'd be like forcing Lizzie to take a drink.
Well, he put the hard word on me. What was I supposed to do then?
Oh, you're lying. He's not that stupid. He damn nearly got the big A when he and Sandy were on together.
It's true.
What are you two doing out here?
Just going to the loo, Mrs. Powell.
Not together, you're not.
Well, she's going, I'm coming.
Come on, Latham. You've got to give a formal statement.
I've already told you what happened.
Don't argue. Go on, Smith. Get back to the laundry.
What's this I hear about Faulkner getting the push?
Bloody Chrissy told the governor that he tried to get her in the cot.
She what? The rotten bitch. He might be a screw, but he's not a real bad bloke.
Oh, it's all right, Lizzie, because it was lucky for him Ferguson was there. She told the truth and got him off the hook.
Yeah, she really put her foot in it this time.
What do you mean?
Oh, she went off half-cocked as usual. Told Davo he was in the cell with her when he was with Ferguson all night. They've thrown Chrissy in the pound.
Well, it was lucky for him that Ferguson was there, otherwise he would have really been up the creek.
She's lying.
What?
Well, I had a real bad headache last night, so I asked old Faulkner for some of me pills, and we were chatting for quite a while. And he was on his Pat Malone.
Are you sure it's just that you didn't see Ferguson?
Of course I'm sure she wasn't there, and anyway, there were only one set of footsteps.
Oh, is that a fact? Is that a bloody fact?
What do you got there, Smith?
Paper from the storeroom, Mr. Faulkner. Sir, we need it for the application forms. Sir.
Mine's the same, sir.
That's enough. All right, take it through. Now, what's all this about?
You don't need me to tell you that.
If you're talking about Latham's little game yesterday, that was all sorted out.
Oh, was it?
If it wasn't, I wouldn't be here. I take it you know I was suspended thanks to her lies.
I also know you got off the hook thanks to another lie.
Now, hang on. I didn't lie.
Oh, I know you didn't. I thought you were a decent bloke for a screw. And knowing what Chrissy's like, I thought, well, fair enough. If she's offering it, why shouldn't you take it? Well, what beats me is you're not man enough to stand up and face the music. You squirm out of it and let Chrissy get slung in the pound. Well, I always say it takes two to tango, and you are the only one left on the dance floor.
Great. Well, as it happens, no one's really interested in what you've got to say.
Oh, aren't they? Well, we'll see. Because I can prove you were alone and that you had plenty of time to visit Chrissy. All right, Doreen, you can do the rest of that copy.
Oh, what about Chrissy? You said she was going to help me.
Chrissy and I are going to have a little chat.
What about?
You and Mr. Faulkner.
Yeah? What do you want to know?
The truth. At the moment, there are too many ifs and buts.
Well, it wasn't rape.
Then why did you say it was?
Because he put the hard word on me, that's why. And he said he was going to help me get Elizabeth in here on a visit if I did it with him.
You see, I told you.
All right,
he was
Lizzie.
lying.
Okay, one at a time. Then why hasn't he brought your daughter in to see you?
Well, he's gone back on his word, hasn't he? Because of all the fuss, that's why.
And Ferguson's alibi is a lie?
Yes!
There, I told
All right,
you
Lizzie,
so.
shut up.
What you going to do about it, Bea?
I'm going to see Ferguson first, and then we'll see.
You'll try anything, won't you? I suppose you'll write about this in that tatty little paper of yours.
The Dispatch? Yes, I will, if I've got proof.
Oh, come off it, Smith. You've been in here long enough to know the facts of life. You're fair game, aren't you, Latham? That is one fact. And another fact is that the officers in this service have to stick together. And those are the only things you'll ever get proof of.
I'll swear she's lying. And I'll swear old Faulkner was on duty on his own.
Was he, Chrissy?
Yes, he was.
Then that's all I need to know.
What are you doing, Bea?
I'm writing my next article for the Dispatch. It's going to be about prison inmates and sex and the staff.
They'll never print that.
I don't care if they don't. Just getting this to someone on the outside should create enough of a stink.
I promised you there would be no censorship.
But you had no right to give the papers this.
We have every right to an investigation.
I had already done that.
And let him off the hook.
I didn't touch Latham. How many times you got to be told?
That's your story.
Mr. Faulkner was with Miss Ferguson the whole time.
No way. One of the women saw him alone.
So now you are accusing 2 officers of lying.
All I'm saying is there are grounds for an investigation. And after this, I reckon we'll get one.
Come in. Latham, I want you to tell me exactly what happened. If I find it necessary, I will take the matter further. But I want to hear the truth first.
Nothing happened, Mrs. Davidson.
What?
Go on.
Well, I sort of made an offer to Mr. Faulkner, and he wouldn't take me up on it, so...
So you made the whole thing up. I see.
Hey, wait a minute. What's going on here?
Shut up,
Oh, hang on here. She's changed her tune.
Quiet, Smith. Latham, you are already on charges of theft and breaking parole. I should have thought that would have been enough. You can forget about privileges until further notice.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
As for you, Smith, there are 2 reporters in the interview room. They are waiting to find out about this investigation you want. I'm sure you'll be happy to enlighten them.
Pretty hot.
All right, Chrissy. You back the screws against me. Why?
I had a good reason.
Make it fast.
Miss Ferguson.
And what particular piece of cheese did she dangle?
She said she'd help me see Elizabeth.
And you sold me out for that, or was there another bloody reason?
I don't know what you mean.
Maybe you were scared your story wouldn't stand up. Now, did you have it off with Faulkner or not?
No, I've already told you that.
Bitch, I'll break your bloody arm! Now the dispatch mob thinks I'm into telling fairy tales. Do you know what that means for us? I'll have to work my butt off to convince them I'm not.
I had to do it, Bea.
And Faulkner probably won't even give us the time of day.
He wouldn't help me see Elizabeth.
So what?
That's why I set him up. You don't know what it's been like. I'm stuck in here and my baby's out there with that bloody
That
bitch.
is your own bloody fault.
She won't even bring her in to see me, Bea. I had to find a screw who'd make her do it. Otherwise, I'd never see her again. Do you know what that feels like, Bea? It's my kid I'm talking about.
I don't like being mucked around, Chrissy. Not for any reason. And the next time you play funny buggers with me, I'll kill you.
Hey, Bea, there's something the matter with Dawn.
What?
I don't know, she didn't want to tell me, and I reckon if I tried to make her, she'd have burst into tears or something.
Well, I wonder what that's all about.
She borrowed $10 off me. She seemed desperate to get it.
Where is she now?
In my cell.
I'll have a word to her.
Yeah, and try and find out what it's all about, eh,
Yeah,
Bea?
I think this is yours. You lost it behind a fire extinguisher?
Bea, why did you take it? I'm going to be in real strife when she...
Who?
Nobody. Forget it. Just give me the money back.
I want some answers, Doreen, and I want them now.
Please don't ask me any questions, Bea. Just give me the money so I can put it back before it's too late.
This is for Ferguson, isn't it? You stupid little bitch. If she's putting pressure on you, why didn't you come to me? Why the hell didn't you tell me?
Probably thought you'd blow your stack like you are doing now.
And how did she buy you? What was your payoff?
Oh, but you know, I wouldn't do anything like that.
I want the truth, Lizzie, and I want all of it.
Yeah. Well, she did give me a little bottle of whiskey, but I'm not in her pocket or
You
anything.
bloody morons! She's running rings around you, getting at all of you in different ways, and you are letting her!
Well, I'm not.
Can't you see what she's doing? She's dividing us up. If we're going to beat her, we have got to stick together.
Well, I don't see how we can.
By doing what I say.
And what can you do? Bloody nothing. There's nothing anybody can do.
I'll come up with something.
She's got it all sewn up there. She got Faye to play it her way and now me.
Oh, so that's why you suddenly became the bookie.
Yeah, well, Ferguson has it all her own way. She's after Hannah and she'll get her, you'll see.
Like hell she will.
Oh, and how are you going to stop her? She told Lizzie it's hands off Chrissy unless she wants her bashed. She'll cut in on all our lurks. She'll tell us when to jump and how high. She is ruling the roost, Bee.
Doreen's right. How the hell can you keep her off by yourself?
Yeah, see?
Shut up, you're like a stupid schoolgirl. OK, Lizzie.
What do you want to know, Bee?
Did Ferguson speak to you? And did she give you a message about Chrissy? Oh, I see. Well, you can put that back behind the extinguisher for now and give me some time to think. And I'll come up with a way of dealing with Ferguson. Right. Now, the way I see it, we set you up as if you're living in the lap of luxury.
What do you mean?
You'll have all this stuff in your room. More soap you can use, more chocolates, biscuits, coffee, fresh milk, that sort of thing.
How do we get that?
You don't, we do. But don't use any of it because remember, it's all on loan. Then we start dropping comments to the screws that it's Joan who's supplying you with all the stuff she's pinched from the other women.
They won't buy it.
Of course not. If they catch you in bed with her as well, then she's a goner.
No way, I'm not going to be in that one.
Now, calm down. It'll be all right. All you have to do is lead her on a bit, play hard to get. Now, you must have done that with fellas a million times. Then as soon as she's alone in the cell with you, we send Po-Face in to break it up.
And what if she doesn't get there?
She'll get there.
Seems to me like I'm taking all the risks.
Seems to me like you're forgetting that freak can have a go at you any time she likes. Now, if you think you can handle it yourself, that's fair enough. But if not, we are prepared to help you. Now, what's it going to be?
Yeah, all right.
Good. Don't tell anyone, because there's no one you can trust.
What's this? Christmas?
Get out.
She knows about it, Bea. I couldn't keep it from her. Anyway, it was Chrissy that talked me into going along with it.
Is that right? Now, why would she do that?
Do you reckon she'll blow it, Bee?
Not when I've had a word with her.
We've got a whole lot of stuff. You look, by the time we finish with your cell, it's going to be the snazziest in the whole block.
What is this garbage?
Presents, my love, from an admiring screw. We'll hide these away, bring them out a few at a time. Then spread a few whispers about things missing from the cells. You'll also hear a few whispers about you. You might also find they won't talk to you, but that shouldn't worry you. If they get too heavy, let me know. I'll pull them back into line.
You think this is going to work?
Of course it will, as long as you do your bit and string her along.
Hey, it's a pity we haven't got a nice photograph of Ferguson to put in here.
What we really need is something we shouldn't have, like a piece of jewellery, something she would have had to smuggle into you.
Great, and I get caught with it. Thanks very much.
We've got to make this convincing, Hannah.
Come on, everybody assemble in the red room.
Right, set her off, Doreen.
You've all got a special visitor. Judy Bryan.
Well, good old Judy. We might get that piece of jewellery after all.
B. Smith is trying to set you up. She wants the other screws to think that you and Hannah are on together.
Well, well, well. Here's an interesting little trio, Miss Sharp. Wonder what they're talking about. Perhaps it's about all the goodies that Simpson's been collecting lately. Search her.
Mine, I've never seen it before in my life.
Take her to solitary, Miss Sharp. I'll deal with this lot.
On what charge?
Possession of contraband.
Put it there, you bitch.
And insubordination.
She set me up. You all saw her do it. You bitch, Ferguson! I'll get you for this!
Well, Smith, what do you think?
Got nothing to do with me.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. You see, you're next on the list.
She knows.
She didn't say.
She knows!
What about?
Hannah's in the pound.
Yeah, I heard.
Ferguson says I'm next.
Oh?
Now, why would she say that, Chrissy?
Maybe she fancies you too.
Don't you be a smart ass.
Well, how would I know? She's heavy in everyone, isn't she?
Is that what she did to you? Heavy you?
What do you mean?
Or did she promise you something?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've been seeing a lot of Libby lately.
Elizabeth, so what?
Cut the crap, Chrissy. We all know how Ferguson works. Now, all I want to know is why did you do it? Is it because of Elizabeth?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You lied, Chrissy! You ruined it for all of us, you stupid... What's going on here? Oh, I see. Piggy squeals, sows come running.
What did you say?
I didn't say a word, not a thing.
All right, Latham, get up. Get to your dorm. I'll speak to you later. As for you, Smith, you can do your explaining to the governor. I'm warning you.
Oh, please.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing, I just feel a bit crook, that's all.
A bit crook. You look bloody awful. So, little Susie's all set up on the outside, is she?
Oh, yeah.
Has she got a job?
I fixed it up myself. She's going real good.
More than I can say for you. What sort of job?
She's working in a chemist, selling cosmetics and things.
Bull.
What do you mean?
You're on the game, right? And yet you want me to believe that you set Susie up in a cushy job like that?
Why don't you just piss off?
Oh, I thought so. A junkie. A smack freak. A pathetic, stinking, lousy little junkie.
Please, you've got to help me, Bea. You're top dog. You could fix it.
Susie was living with you. Well, what's happened to her?
If I don't get a hit, I'll kill myself.
If anything's happened to Susie, I'll save you the trouble. What's the matter, love? You don't get any sympathy for self-inflicted wounds in here. Oh, if you're going to start blubbering, would you mind doing it somewhere else?
Babe.
Guess where she's going.
Oh, why don't you lay off the poor little kid?
Why should I?
She might be a druggie, but I reckon she needs support more than all that stuff that you're dishing out, and I thought you would have been the first to understand that.
Oh, I understand, all right.
Yeah, she'd be about the same age as your kid, wouldn't she? If she was alive.
Damn you! How dare you compare them? Now, Donna put Susie on the skids, and that is something that Debbie would never have done.
We don't know for sure about Susie, and that kid's about as much a victim as your Debbie was. And she didn't get any support when she needed either.
Yes, Smith.
I've come about Donna Mason.
Well, what's your interest in her?
She's going through a bad withdrawal. I think she'd be better off if she moved in with Doreen and me.
What are you up to, Smith?
Well, what makes you think I'm up to anything?
Well, we know how you feel about drugs, Bea.
Yeah, well, I guess it's the pushers and the junkies who don't lift a finger to help themselves that really get up my nose. And this kid looks like she's trying to get off it.
Yes, but helping a junkie's never been in your line.
Well, old dogs can learn new tricks, Mrs. Powell. Besides, my daughter didn't exactly get any help when she needed it, and maybe this kid's still got a chance.
I think it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps. What about Susie Driscoll?
Oh, I know about the connection.
And you still want to help Donna?
She's not a pusher.
No, but she did decline a police request for an interview, which might have been instrumental in helping Susie.
Well, she's frightened. Frightened people look after number one.
Well, it didn't help Inspector Grace find a supplier.
Maybe I can talk Donna into talking to them.
Donna needs help, and it might lead to Susie before she gets in too deep.
Yeah. It's worth the gamble, huh? Your request is granted.
Sluts like you who take drugs can't be trusted, Mason.
That's charming.
Get out of here, Smith.
Glad to oblige. Come on, you're shifting out.
Smith, twice in one day is about as much as I can take from you.
Deputy Governor's orders. Donna's moving in with Doreen and me.
Keep her quiet or she'll be moving into solitary.
Right. Yes, Miss Ferguson. Come on, we'll go and get a feed first. Come on.
Thanks, Bea.
Come on, Donna. Now go back to bed and try and get some sleep.
I'm asleep. I'm going off a break.
Come on, come back here.
God.
They're not going to come at this time of night, love. come on.
Sorry, Bea.
You must have known it was going to be like this.
Oh, you don't think this far ahead when you start.
Yeah, we'll start thinking now.
Oh, God, I do want to give it away. I do, I promise. Can't imagine the sort of things I've had to go through. Lying and stealing and going with men I wouldn't even talk to if I was straight.
I'd like to get my hands on those bastards that get kids hooked on heroin just once. Now, come on, we'll go away in time.
My mind's going to go first. I can't stand
No, it won't, and you will get off it if you really want to.
It's not that simple. I need it now like you need to breathe.
Can't I get some peace in here?
Shut up and go back to sleep.
It's my room too.
Come on. How do you get started on that sort of shit anyway?
Oh, Dad sort of conned me in the beginning, I guess.
Oh, I suppose try and do the same to Susie. I guess that's how Debbie started.
Who's Debbie?
She's my daughter. About your age when she OD'd.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bea.
Yeah? Just make sure you don't go the same way.
I'm sorry. I'll try.
About bloody time, where have you been?
Well, there's no point in rushing, is there?
Where have you been?
Nowhere.
Probably been out having an early morning workout with the freak.
Oh, come off it. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole.
So what would you do for her?
Nothing.
And how come all the little favours?
Yeah, I reckon they're on together, Bea.
We're not.
Either that or you've got something on her. And I think it's about time you shared your little secret.
There's nothing.
You're not going to be able to answer Ferguson back with a broken neck. Just remember.
What's going on, Smith?
Nothing?
It looked to me like you were threatening her. Now, we can't have that, can we? I think you need a change of air, Smith. You can clean out the showers and the latrines. Daniels, get on the press.
I don't want to work on the press.
Oh, don't worry. You won't have to work too hard. We wouldn't want you tiring yourself now, would we?
Yeah, well, I don't mind doing my bit.
Then get on the press. Right, Smith. The latrines are filthy.
What have you got there?
I was just taking some pills the nurse gave me.
Was that Nurse Mouse or Nurse Maxine?
What do you mean?
You got your hands on some stuff, didn't you?
No.
Liar! You pinched Lizzie's dough and you bought some dope, didn't you?
I took Lizzie's money to buy some grog. I told
And
you.
where is it? Where is it?
All right, I took her stupid money because I'm a drug addict and I always will be.
Oh, I said I was going to help you, and by Christ I will. I'm not going to let you out of my sight. You have just started cold turkey.
Oh, yeah? What are you going to do? Tie me to the bed? Shove a pillow on my mouth when I scream and I can't stand it?
Yes, if necessary.
No, you're not. You let me go.
I'm not letting you out of my sight.
I know what you're trying to do. You're not trying to save me. You're trying to save your stupid bloody daughter when she's dead. She's dead.
Rotten little bitch. People try and help you. And look what they get for it. Well, you aren't fit to mention Debbie's name. Now, go on, get out. Get out.
Okay.
Go and get yourself. And the quicker the better.
You look all in, Smith. Cleaning duty's too much for you.
I can take anything you dish out.
Even when you're up half the night holding your junkie mate's hand.
I wouldn't have to be if it wasn't for the scum who supplier. You wouldn't know anything about that, I suppose.
Don't tell me you don't know. I thought Queen Bee knew everything. You're losing your grip lately, Smith.
I've got my suspicions.
If you're thinking of me, forget it. Drugs are one thing I draw the line at.
Even if it's in exchange for favours.
Oh, don't be stupid. Junkies can't be trusted inside or out. They'll try anything for a fix. Anything.
She'd have to be desperate.
A bit of advice, Smith. You're helping a loser there. Seen her type before. She's marked. A pine box is all she's got to look forward to.
Well, haven't we all?
Want a word with you, Simpson?
I've got nothing to say to you now. Let me go. Hey, what's going
I
on?
wasn't talking to you, Smith. Get moving.
Why? So you can take Hannah to some dark corner and bash her like you did Chrissy.
I'm warning you, Smith. Get moving, the lot of you.
Whatever you've got to say to me, you can say in front of them.
I'll decide that. Get your filthy hands off me.
We're staying right here, Ferguson. And you had better stay where we can see you. Because if you don't, we'll scream our tits off. And we'll do the same if you lay one hand on Hannah. Oh, stay right where you are. It was a neat little trick you pulled on Doreen.
What's it to do with you, Smith?
It wouldn't have hurt you to tell her she was going. She could at least have said goodbye.
She's out, isn't she? What more do you want? Besides, you lot would have organised little messages to go out with her.
I don't suppose she left any money behind for us, did she? Returning our bets?
Money? Bets? What are you talking about? There's no such thing as a prison bookmaker. You should know that.
Yeah. Stupid of me. I forgot.
You're sailing bloody close to the wind, Ferguson. And when Mrs. Davison checks up on Queensland, you're a goner.
She already has, Smith. And the governor up there gave her the truth. Lovely man. More like a friend than a boss. So, with all that nasty business out of the way, the department saw no reason not to give me these.
You're joking.
Of course not. My probationary period down here is over. The promotion was automatic. So it's now Senior Officer Ferguson. And you'd better believe it.
You mean after all you told her, old Davo's still siding with Ferguson?
But she doesn't have much choice, really. She can hardly tell us we're doing the right thing now, can she?
Do you have to be so bloody reasonable all the time? Anyway, we've got a real fight on our hands. Looks like Davo and the screw is going to back Ferguson up no matter what we say.
But we're going to keep on with it, aren't we? I'm not letting that bitch off the hook.
OK, B, what do we do now?
Lizzie, pass the word around. There's going to be a meeting among the women in the yard during the Savo's exercise period.
What are you planning to do?
Don't know yet. But I think everyone has a right to know exactly what they're in for.
Yeah, B, what can they do to us? I mean, you know, if we keep on with it.
Oh, pal's already threatened to lock us in our cells and throw away the key, and Davo muttered something about forcing us to obey. You know, the usual garbage.
I reckon we ought to keep going now we're started, otherwise we look bloody silly.
Yeah, I think Lizzie's right. It's the only way we've got of showing we can take non-violent action. But you've all got to make up your own minds. It's not up to me.
Yes, it is. You're top dog.
Course it is. What do you lot reckon?
What's happening?
Getting rather vocal, Governor.
Right, I think it's time we took some precautions. Mrs. Powell, take 2 officers with you to the armory and issue some batons.
Right, come on.
Surely it won't come to that.
I don't know, but if they see a show of strength, it might make them think twice about it.
OK, you lot. If the freak comes out, we stay put until Davo sends someone else to get us, OK?
You are all to return to the main building at once.
An officer has given you an order. I expect you to obey it immediately.
I've already told you how we feel. Send another officer, and we'd be happy to go in.
That is my decision to make, not yours, Smith. Until such time as you are prepared to do precisely what Miss Ferguson tells you, you can stay exactly where you are.
Oh, just give us the word. Don't take no notice of her.
Come on, shut up, you lot. I'm the only one who gives a word around here, and we go inside when I say so.
I'm just letting them know that Ferguson's finished, that's all.
Think so? Take a look at her. She'll stand there all week if she has to.
Yeah, well, she will, but the others won't.
They will if we get up their noses enough. And just cool it.
Look, they know that we're right, and they know she's a bent screw.
Do you think they're going to admit that to us? Let's all keep quiet, the lot of you. It'll wear them down a lot faster.
Yeah, not fast enough.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Look, we're not prepared for all this. It's getting dark and cold. We've got no food either.
Look, if all you can think about is your stomachs. Here, Mouse, come here. Look, she's got biscuits and I've got a bit of chocolate.
Look, I'm just stating facts, that's all. We should have been better organised.
The only fact that needs stating is that we are going to win. There's no way we're going inside on Ferguson's say-so. Cold, hungry, or whatever, we are not giving in to Ferguson. Now, have you got that?
You say so, Bea?
Bastard!
Listen, I'm not suggesting we give it away for good, but there's no way we're going to win. Look, it's getting colder, we're all freezing to death, and if you don't watch it, a couple of the women are going to get really sick. Look at poor Lizzie. I mean, how can you expect her to go on with it? We can do it again another time, but let's be a little more prepared, eh?
Lose a battle, win a war, eh?
Well, it has been done before.
Yeah, well, I could do with a hot cup of tea anyway.
Just about now, I'd say. When you're ready, ladies.
What's up?
Donna, there's something wrong with her.
Go and get help, Chrissy. Get everyone out.
Everybody, you heard what she said. Bea, I need help, Bea.
Don't try to talk.
I don't want to be bothered anymore, Bea.
Come on, come on. Come on. Donna? Donna? Don't try to talk.
I don't want to be bothered anymore, Bea.
Come on, come on. You show me the new leaf first, then we'll see about the helping hand.
I want to get myself sorted out. I want to get off the stuff. I know what'll happen if I don't. I really need help, Bea, but I don't want to be a bother anymore, do you? I should have stopped that.
No,
could have. She came to me, and I turned her away.
B. No one could have helped her now. You know that.
It could have been different this time.
Not this time, not any time. Come on. Come on.
What's wrong? Come along, B.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Ham.
Now, what's all this about, B? Is it Donna?
I can't have anyone, and I pushed her away.
It had nothing to do with that.
We could have done something, or I could have done something, and I kicked that poor kid when she was down.
It wasn't the heroin that killed her. It was cut with battery acid.
What?
Do you know how she got hold of it?
Mouse probably does.
Well, we haven't talked to Mouse yet, but we will when she comes down.
Well, she may not know who her outside contact is anyway.
It mightn't have come from a regular contact.
And what difference does that make?
Well, I'd say she was given this lot to get rid of her. Now, can you throw any light on that?
She's dead, Mouse. And you helped kill her.
No, I didn't have anything to do with it, B. Honest.
She's dead. And now it's going to be your turn.
I swear I didn't have anything to do with it. She was shooting up. She made me do it. Oh, that's what the blue in the yard was all about.
Oh, yes, what was that?
Nothing. She made me do it.
You little bitch. He's done dealing.
No, that's what she paid me with. Honest.
Oh, now you're going to get the big payoff. You see this? It's cut with battery acid. And I am going to pour it down your throat.
It's enough, B. I said that's enough. Governor wants to see you, Trap. It won't fix the problem, B.